Welcome. In this brief video tutorial, you will learn how to read and interpret your individualized student summary report as provided by the Business Impact System. A student summary report provides you with your individual results so you can manage your own learning. This report gives you valuable feedback on the skills required from the course, letting you know which ones you have already learned and the ones you have not learned yet. This information empowers you to support your own growth and professional development. Assessments may be given at 3 points in time throughout the learning process. They are given to measure outcomes as you prepare, master, and apply your learning. Each report provides information on your individual scores that were taken before a course through the pre-assessment, directly after the course through a post-assessment, and after returning to your job through a transfer assessment. These scores are calculated and a report is sent to you. The reports are cumulative, with the final report including scores from all previous assessments. So how do you read your report? Well, let's look at a sample report together. This is a student report for Heather Waters, who completed a training on effective communication. Here is what the full report would look like. The student report provides an overview of the results from all pre, post, and transfer assessments taken for that course. You can see it is broken into several sections. The top of the report provides the name of the course, student name, and training dates. That is followed by cumulative information on your performance by objective type. Next, performance by learning phase information. We'll cover this in more detail shortly. And now performance by assessment. This section gives overall scores for your pre, post, and transfer assessments, as well as your class rank. The class rank reveals how you did in comparison to other learners taking the course. The bottom section of the report breaks down results for each individual student objective. Let's go into a little more detail, starting with the top section, entitled Performance by Learning Phase. The results are displayed in a color bar, which we will refer to as the results bar. The color blue represents your pre-assessment score and shows the level of existing knowledge before taking the course. The post-assessment is represented by green and red result bars. The green represents a person's post score and shows skills and knowledge learned through the course. The red also represents the post score, but shows the skill and knowledge missed or not learned through the course. A transfer mark, represented by a vertical line with two intersecting horizontal lines, is also shown here. The transfer mark indicates the level of retention or application of learning after returning to work. A green transfer mark would indicate a student applied the learned material to a satisfactory level on the job. A red transfer mark, as seen here, would mean the student performed below the expected levels on the transfer assessment. Now let's look at the student objectives section at the bottom of the report. Here you can see a results bar for each corresponding objective. Let's look at two of the objectives more closely. Notice how the student has a blue bar for the objective comprehends the appropriate individuals to inform. This means the student scored 100% on the pre-assessment and already had a mastery of that knowledge before taking the course. Now look at the objective for illustrates general best practices for effective communication. The bar is half green, half red. Since there is no blue section, it indicates that the student did not know any of the objective prior to the learning. The green section shows the student gained 50% on the post-assessment, but the red section shows the student missed 50% on the post-assessment. As expected, after having only gained 50% of the learning, the transfer level showed they only retained or applied 50% of the skill when they returned to work. As we continue reviewing the student objectives section of the report, you can see each objective is identified by an icon, shown in the far left column. These icons indicate the type of objective. The paintbrush represents objectives with an observable behavior. In this case, the objective is being able to show using the 6-step process learned in the class on effective communication. The green book icon represents critical thinking objectives. Critical thinking objectives are cognitive skills such as problem solving and decision making. The example here is a student to illustrate the general best practices for effective communication. And finally, the blue book represents basic knowledge objectives. These objectives cover basic levels of knowledge needed to achieve the critical thinking and behavior skills in the program. The example here is for the student to know the 6 steps in the effective communication process. Beside the icons, you will see the description of each objective and the corresponding results bars. You will also see your results as percentages in the 3 columns on the right. Notice the scores in red. These indicate areas that do not meet the standards as outlined by your company. The acceptable scores may vary by assessment phase and objective. In the first objective, for example, a post-assessment score of 83% was within an acceptable level. However, a transfer score of 67% was not. You can use your scores from the post and transfer assessments to determine the areas for improvement. Low post scores indicate areas you did not gain as much as desired from the learning course. In this example, the student scored low on the post assessment for 2 objectives. The student may want to spend more time reviewing those sections of the learning program. Low transfer scores will show the objectives that you did not retain or apply when you return to work. In this example, the student has low transfer scores for 6 objectives. There are several reasons why objectives are not retained or applied on the job. Environmental factors on the job, such as no time, improper tools, or conflicting instructions, can create challenges with application. When objectives are learned but not applied, that's a good opportunity for the student to speak with their manager about how to incorporate their newly gained skills into the job. This concludes this tutorial on reading and understanding your student summary report. For any questions, you may reach out to info@eparamus.com. Thank you.